Good day. ASOKA Services welcomes you to this session. We will be translating health policy to data. In the previous video, we looked at the electronic data collection tool. To be more specific, we looked at tier.net. We looked at the background, the number of users that it has, how to log in, and the password issues, and we looked also on the general layout. Today, we will be looking at the menu bar as promised in the previous videos. The menu bar, as you can see, is found there on the top, just below the logo, on your left-hand corner, upper corner. We will take that menu bar and show it like this for the rest of this video. Just remember when you see it like this, that it's from tier, the top part, just above the patient view and the facility view. We will then be discussing all of these tabs and what it would give. Just to keep in mind is that the user will have a black arrow. Any drop down that shows a black arrow will be denoting it's for the user. The admin and implementer will have a blue one. Then the yellow one will be saying that everyone will be getting the same drop down. Let's look at the file part. You can see the drop down there has a black arrow which says it's for the user. And the next one is basically for the admin and the implementer, as it has the blue arrow. You can see that the options on that drop down are different for the user and the admin and implementer. Basically, the implementer and the admin will always have more responsibilities than the user. If you want to understand more, go back to our previous video. I will put a link on the description box below, and you will see it also being highlighted here on the right hand corner. So let's go through the tab, what each option on that drop down means. We'll basically be looking on the blue arrow because it has both the black and the blue. The backup is basically saving everything that we have captured on tier onto the system. Whatever you have backed up, if your system crashes and you have to reinstall it, you will be able to restore with that restore button. You will note that the restore button is only on the blue arrow. The black one you cannot restore, only the admins will. Creating of a dispatch is common for all. We create dispatch when we have to report to a higher level, being a sub-district, district, or even province. Loading of a dispatch will never happen at a facility level, but will happen from sub-district upwards. The reason is that at sub-district, you cannot be loading a dispatch as you are actually the capturing, the data inputting side. So you cannot be loading a dispatch from a higher level than you. If anything happens, that's why you will have then to restore the backup file. You will see that there are exports that we do to the HIS, which is your ART and your TB. In the previous video, we had discussed that currently we are only capturing on the TB module and on the HIV module, hence those export. And you can see both, all of the users can do the exports. Creating of a DES and importing it is only available on the blue arrow. This is mainly for the TB data for those facilities or regions that are not capturing the TB module, then they will use that. For those that are using the TB module, then they will use the import part for the HIS as well as running reports on tier. Custom ART cohort export, we will discuss it when we discuss the reports. We will hold it for here. Looking at the setup tab, that's the part that you get for the user, and that is the part that you get for the implementers. The only difference is the user button. We will then look in depth on the setup one. If you click on the user, it will give you that screen. If you see on this station, there are 3 users that are registered. And each user will show under, as you can see, the columns, the name, the surname, role, status, and locked or unlocked. If you look there, you have buttons for new, for editing, for deleting, deactivating, or locking. So if you select a user and you choose perhaps delete, then it will delete that user. Deactivate, it will do that, and lock, it will lock it. You can also add and edit users. You can add new users and edit current user. Just to repeat this button or option is only available to the admin and the implementer. My Details is available for everyone. It basically gives you the information that you see, but only for this workstation that is being logged on. You will have your usernames and your name as well as your password. You can reset your password from here. You can also put in your security question and reset it as you want from this one. If you look there just next to the arrow, next to the details, there is another tab that says permissions. If you click, it will give you this screen. Basically, on the left of this screen, it's facilities, and on the right is the user access. The facilities one is basically the levels or any facilities that we have access to, but the user one is specific to this user that is logged on. So in this case, I have access to those 3 facilities that I work with that are part of the Gauteng province. The Adherence Lab Tab, if you click the option, if you click it, it will give you that. It will give you the list of clubs that are active in this or that are registered on this workstation in this facility. It gives you an option to activate or deactivate those clubs, and you can also put in a new club or, edit a club. If you had to put in a new club, then it will give you this screen where you will put in the club name, the type of a club. In this case, it's an art1, so it will give us when are the viral due for this club, as well as the date that the club was created. The same screen will come up if it's new, but then it won't have the club names and everything. You will have to put those in. The last one option on this tab is the facility service point. And if you click, you get this screen that you see on your right. In this screen, basically, it allows bigger facilities like your community healthcare center, CHCs, or your hospital to put an extra point within the facility where the files could be kept in. Basically, if, for example, you have an HIV positive pregnant woman that is only accessing the MOU, then they will keep that file in the MOU session, not on the PHC section of the facility. So the service point name or creating service points in your facility makes it possible for you to locate where the files might be in case you want to draw one. If you click on the new, you will get that button. So you can click new or edit and you'll get the same screen. In this case, the service point name is West Wing. West Wing, if we click there, it will save. Once we have saved the service point, you can allocate patients to that service point. You can see on this HIV registration details at the bottom there with the red around it, you can select the West Wing that we have just saved. So it makes it possible, whoever then opens this file will see that this file, I will get it on the West Wing of this facility. That will be all with the setup. So you've dealt with the file and the setup. Let's look at the Analysis tab. If you look, the Analysis tab has a yellow arrow, which means it's accessible to all the users in this computer. So it's basically on all of your reports. We will not deal with the reports in details on this video because it is very detailed. If you click on the HIV option of this tab, you will get a list of other reports that are relevant to the HIV care. It's reports and list. As I've said, we'll deal with them in a separate video. You also have the same for the TB program. Let's then look at the tools option. That's what the user has, and this is what the implementer and admin will have. Let's look in detail with the admin. The setup station option and loading of maintenance file, we will discuss this in a separate video where we will be discussing setting up of the workstation. This section actually talk to configuring the workstation or the facility. We will cover this in the next sessions. Test awaiting results. These are the tests that we have captured on system that the patient have gone and done the test, but we are waiting now for the results. If you click, you will get this screen that will tell you that all of these patients that are here are waiting for their results. On this screen, if you look the test type, it's saying VL, which is viral loads, and if it is captured, you will also see the lab reference. Once you click on a patient, it will then bring up this screen. If you look, there is a tick there next to return results returned. and then it gives an option to put in the results. If the tick is not there, then that option for test result will be blank. You will not be able to put anything like it does there on the specimen type. So only if you click the results returned will you get an option to put in the results, to type in the results. We have skipped the bulk adherence lab visit capturing. We will deal with this one when we do the decanting part from folder all the way to capturing, or the NAS implementation guideline. So let's look at duplicate facility folder merge. This option, you will use it mainly when you have created more than one folder for one patient by mistake. This tab is also not available on the user one. It's for the implementer and the admin. They will be able then to select. If they click, they will see this screen. Once clicking on this screen, the lookup patient, you will be able to select or look up a patient based on the folder number, PR, ID, date of birth, or even gender. In this case, we have looked up a patient using the patient surname, and you can see their chain is coming up. Then you can put that under there, the folder to keep, that's the folder you want to keep, but then you also look up on the same manner the folder that you want to merge this folder with. Take note that once you have done that and you click merge, this screen will come up that is asking, are you sure you want to proceed? Remember, if you proceed, you are actually saying the first folder must be kept, but the second folder after it is merged with the first one must be deleted. You have a move facility data option as well. When you click, this is almost the same as the folder one. You want to move patients from one facility to the next. Obviously, this will not be available at a facility level. So you select the facility you want to move patients from, and you select the facility that you want to move the patients to. And then you click move. Once it's done, you will get the screen that it was successfully moved. Let's look then at the view button. You can see it's available for everyone. That's the same with the window one and the help one. Let's deal with these now. The view one will give you the facility tree view, which is this one. If you are having more than one facility, or you are in a higher level like this one where we see South Africa, Gauteng, and we see the district, the sub, and the clinic, this is what you will be able to see. But if you are only working in one facility, this view will only show the Makagula clinic, which is one facility in this case. Clicking the HIV patient list will bring up this screen. Just take note that under the menu bar, you can see that this is HIV registrations, and it will tell you the number of records that we have on this computer under HIV. The same will happen with the TB one. You can see there it's written TB registrations, and it's showing the number of records that we have. Looking at the window tab, the window tab then basically will show you how you want to view those specific windows or patient window pane within TIA itself. The cascade basically take all, you can see the TB registration, HIV, and the users. It puts one after the next. So in front is your user list, after that is your HIV one, after that is the TB one. That is the cascade, one after the next. The tile one then puts all of these records one under the neck, under each other. You have the HIV record, under it you have the TB one, under it you have the HIV one. Whereas with the cascade, they were behind each other. For the vertical one, tile vertical, it puts them next to each other. Looking at the help tab, help content brings with this screen. This screen basically gives you an indication of everything that you might need to be able to use TA. So if you run out of any ideas, you can easily click the help content, and it will give you that menu that you can click, and it will tell you what to do. The user manual, it will bring up the manual for the version of TA that we are using. We are currently using the 1.13.2 version. So the user manual is the version 1.13. The links gives you the the place in your computer where all of those files are, the backup, the dispatch, those received, and the export. Clicking in any of those options under the link will take you to the exact point where those backup files are, or even any of those files. This is only if you did not change and decide to save them maybe on a stick or on your desktop. The end user license, it's a license or sort of a contract or the agreement. It's between the developers and you as an end user. You can click and read more in detail what it says. The about option is telling you more general information about TA. So we have covered all of the menu tabs, menu bar with all its 7 tabs. Under those tabs, then we can see all the options that we have. I will keep a copy of this slide and load it below so that you can download in case you need it. Thank you for watching this video. See you on the next one.